Hi guys, we're just going to have a quick look at how to set up the acceleration gates. I'm just firing up the latest Race HQ that I've got on my desktop. I also got my timing hub plugged in on my dongle, so that's plugged in and waiting for the application to find it. Okay, now it's in, this is one of the default screens. It'll either be in pack or in sprints. There are the normal two screens that the software will open up in. You'll notice up here I've got a green Wi-Fi symbol. This is actually for my wireless timing hub. So that's not to do Telstra or Optus, it's to do with the timing hub. So you want that to be green. If it's not, then you won't be able to get very far, because that's what allows your laptop to talk to your gates and devices. So right now I'm just going to change this all the way down here, up one, and to acceleration. Screen looks a little different. My configuration down here is saying 2 checkpoints, so I'm going to have a left and a right hand tube that somebody's going to run through, and then another left and a right hand tube that they're also going to run through. So when they run through the first one, they'll start the clock, because I've got down here running start ticked on. So they'll start the clock and then they'll stop the clock as they run through. If I wanted to make it not do that, I would untick this. I would have to manually start the race or the event. Then when they come through here, I'll get a time, and when they come through the next one, I'll also get a time. So it's up to you how you want that to work. Whether you want it to be a flying start or a running start, where they start it when they run through the gates. I'll put that on because that's the normal process that most people tend to use. Okay, so it's saying this one here, the little yellow halo, the bottom left one, is the one I need to turn on. So I'm just going to go and turn that gate on. It's now green, and I've got a yellow halo around the bottom right one. One thing to note at this point, there's a little arrow direction down the bottom here. That matches, it needs to match the way the gates have a round base with an arrow on them. If I'm standing here and I'm looking at the bottom left gate, it's saying my arrows on my bases are going from left to right. When I'm looking at my physical gates next to me here, it's the opposite, so I'm going to make this right to left. I'm just going to have to hit reset units, because when I did that it said turn on the bottom right one. So now I've got this gate direction beam matching my physical gates, and it's saying turn on the bottom right one, so I'll do that. Now it's saying do the bottom left. Great, so they're both connected, they're both green, and now it's saying do the top right one. And now it's saying do the top left one, so I'll go turn that one on. Okay, so I've got 4 green dots. It's saying there's 10 meters is what I've set between my first pair of gates and my second pair. Reality is I'm just got this set up, they're only around 1 meter apart. Let's make that 0, 1. Then that just gives me a more accurate meters per second average velocity between the 2 points. I've got a start button up here now, and it's saying ready to start. I can also have turned on here automatically save races. So if I do that, then it means I won't have to press save between my races. So I'll just go and start this race by going through the first one. So the clock's running, I'll go through the second one. And so that took 5.37 seconds. It's already saved this race, because now it's ready to start again, so my next athlete could run. And we can see here, it's got on my screen here 5.37 seconds, an average velocity of 0.19 meters per second for that athlete. If I wanted to write someone's name in, then I can, and it's ready for me to start another race when the athlete runs through. So we'll do another one. Okay. Okay, so that took 2.01 seconds, and now I've got an average velocity of 0.5 meters per second. My test athlete's name has now disappeared because that's saved off with the next athlete. So I can write in my next test athlete. So it was Test Nick, now it's Test John. We'll start another race. And again, it's now saved that one off. This was a little slower, 0.44 meters per second, and so on. So we can just keep going through. We'll notice this race number up here just increments along. Now if I didn't want to do running start, I could untick this, which now means when I go and run through my first gate, it doesn't actually start the race. I need to manually start it. So I'm just going to hit the control key on the keyboard. I can also click on the button at the top, but now I've got my first checkpoint and my second. So we can see here we had from my start line to my first gate, I had that set at 10 meters, and it took this person 5 seconds to get there, which gave them 1.75 meters velocity. But then between this checkpoint and the next checkpoint was only 1 meter, and it took them 2.75 seconds, so it gave them an average velocity of 0.36 meters per second. So if I want to go back to running starts, I tick that back on. Now when they run through the first gate and the second, you get a start and stop. Hope that makes sense. Obviously you could make more checkpoints here if you wanted to, or less. And so the less checkpoints, if I just had the one set up, then I could use it as a flying start. So they run through the first one, go out and do a T-run or some other configuration and run back through that same gate and would stop it. So now we've got a start when they run through, they do the obstacle, agility course, whatever it is, run back through that same gate they ran through to start, it now stops it, and I've got a time from them going through and coming back the same gate for that particular course. Now all this data that it's saving race by race is available, so it saves automatically locally, and if I want to I can hit the export button and it's going to put it on my computer. So I'm just going to tell it where I want it. So I'm going to come up here to my desktop. I'm just going to do Cellgate test 1, and it's just saved that. So if I want to, I'll just come in here on my desktop and grab that file, wherever that one is. Here we go. I'll open that up. And here's race 000, 001, 002, 3, 4, test Nick, test John, the splits that we had. Then when I made it a manual start, we got the time from checkpoint 1 as well as checkpoint 2. Then we turned the running start back on again, and we're just getting times between our flying start checkpoint and the finish line. So obviously you could do this for 100 or a few hundred athletes, have all this data here, and then do what you need to do with that moving forward. Thanks for your time. Hope that makes sense, and have a great day.